My name is Kaaren Mirzaei, and for the 2018 Student BioExpo, I conducted lab research. I investigated the effect of cigarette smoke on lentil seedling growth and their observable properties. As many of you already know, cigarettes contain many harmful chemicals. In fact, they contain over 7,000 substances. This includes tar, nicotine, polonium, arsenic, and many more harmful ingredients. Due to the increased use of tobacco worldwide, there are over 5 million deaths due to smoking every year. And since this is a very large health issue, I decided to investigate the effect of smoking on plants. 3 pots were labeled number 1, number 2, and number 3. Pot number 1 received 30 minutes of smoke exposure every day. Pot number 2 received 15 minutes of smoke exposure, and pot number 3, which was the controlled variable, received no smoke exposure. As you can see from the apparatus, the cigarette was placed on a piece of cardboard to prevent the ashes from contaminating the soil. After the cigarette was lit, a plastic bag was placed on top to prevent the wind from blowing away the smoke. The plants were also placed about 10 meters far apart from each other to prevent chemical defense signaling. Over the course of the 7 days, measurements of the heights of the plants were taken every single day, and they are graphed on the left. After that, a trend line was made for every single pot to see if there are any patterns or anomalies, and the results were very minimal differences. Furthermore, a p-test was conducted to see that there was no statistical difference between the variables, which leads me to disregard the first part of my hypothesis that the cigarette smoke has an effect on plant height. However, what happened to the appearance of the plants was extraordinary. On day 7, pictures were taken of the plants, and as you can see on pot number 3, which was the controlled variable, the leaves are fully green, they are very open, and they are all healthy looking. On the other hand, pot number 3, which was the 30 minutes of exposure, had yellowing leaves, they were dried, and they were curling. This shows that there is definitely a negative response to the cigarette smoke. Now, the question is why? There are many reasons that this could have occurred, and this experiment cannot really identify that, but we can make some hypotheses. Plants need glucose in order to survive. Glucose is a source of energy for the plants, and plants use photosynthesis to make glucose. Photosynthesis involves the use of water and carbon dioxide to synthesize glucose. As I've said before, cigarettes contain tar. Tar has been led to believe that it causes blockages in lungs of humans. And I thought this could also occur in the stomata openings. Stomata openings are used for gas exchange, and since tar can build up in them and block them, that means that the plants are not taking in carbon dioxide. If the carbon dioxide does not go inside the plants, that means the plant cannot synthesize glucose for energy, which is an explanation for why the leaves are turning yellow. Another reason could be chemical bonding occurring. Since there are over 7,000 chemicals in the cigarette smoke, they could also be bonding with the plant hormones, causing various consequences, such as the yellowing or the curling of the leaves. Now, this is a very tricky part of this experiment. We can't really be sure, so for further research, there is definitely room to conduct experiments by separating the chemicals in the plants or in the smoke exposures and testing them on the plants. There are many improvements that could be made on this experiment. Since the experiment was used only 3 pots and only 5 plants in each pot with only 1 trial, the results are not very reliable currently. Extending trials and using different exposure times could lead to much more reliable data. By using a greater number of plants, we could definitely increase the anomalies from occurring in this experiment. Thank you very much for your time.